Okay, today's topic is somewhere here. I don't know where. But today's topic is how to get over a loss. And this is Tips with Trev, the show where I give developing baseball players some easy tips to end their slumps faster and become a superstar sooner. Let's get to it. All right, tip number one is to have a process that you do after every single start. Good, bad, indifferent, doesn't matter. Have a process. And this is going to help because you're going to know what to go to. You're not going to be lost and like, oh, I don't know what to do. I had a bad start. Let me try to do all this stuff. And then when you have a good start, you go, oh, I'm not going to do anything. And then that becomes inconsistent. You start having more good starts, more bad starts. Like it gets really kind of yo-yo-y, up, down, in, out, whatever. So have a process. And for example, my process is I take 24 hours to either be upset with my start or celebrate my start. Now, I'm not very good at celebrating my start. That's something I'm constantly working on, trying to get better at. But I take losses really hard. So instead of trying to fight it and not be upset or get over it really quickly or whatever, I block off 24 hours to let myself be miserable or upset or whatever the case is. Also, I kind of like that because the most elite performers generally tend to hate losing more than they enjoy winning. And that's really what drives them. That's what drives me. I can't stand the feeling of losing. So I give myself 24 hours to be miserable. After I'm miserable, then I go back and I analyze. That's step 2 of my process. So I look at what made the start bad. Was it luck? Was it poor execution? How was my routine leading up to the start? Is there something I can control better this cycle? Stuff like that. I just look over the game and I figure out what I need to work on. This is part 3. I create a plan to go in the bullpen or go in my throwing program or whatever the case is and work on what wasn't that good last start so that hopefully I can have a better next start. So that's my process. Your process might be completely different, but have a process that you do no matter if it's a good start, bad start, whatever. Just have a process on how you analyze the game and how you get ready for the next one. All right, tip number 2 is you need to have a good work-life balance. And this is something I struggle with for a long time as well because all I ever did was baseball. I would go to the field, I would do baseball, I would lift, I would work out, I would throw, I would study, I would look at film, I'd watch the game, I'd pitch, and then I'd go home and I'd immediately analyze my game and study and try to think of a new pitch grip. And so my entire day was consumed with baseball. It was fine when baseball was good, because I was enjoying what I was looking at. I was looking at, oh, that pitch was nasty. I want to watch it because it's kind of fun to watch. Or, oh, like this start was really good. Let me rewatch that. But when it was bad, it was constantly seeing negativity. Why did I walk 5 guys today? Let me break down all the little bits of my mechanics. Let me figure out, did I sequence wrong? Did I make the wrong decision? Where can I get better information? And I wasn't doing it in a constructive way. I was staying up really late. I was sacrificing other parts of my routine because it was always different. I didn't have a set timetable on which to process this outing. So it's important to have other things that you do that takes your mind off of baseball at the appropriate times. For me, that has been drones, that has been learning stuff on YouTube, it's been photography, videography, it's been business. There's always something that I have that I can think about and have my mind be actually occupied with outside of baseball. So when I'm in a time where I know I need to separate from it and give myself some time to kind of reflect on the start or just to separate from it, I can go do one of these things. And it could be a hobby. It could be people that you love. Like it could be friends that you want to have over, or going and just being in a social setting that might help you forget about it. There's a lot of different things that you can do, but making sure you have a balance is important. You want to be able to step away from the game at the appropriate times. That's going to help you focus on the game more intently when you are focused on it. And it'll help you be happier too. You don't want to be singular. You don't want to have like one singular focus. You want to have your main focus that you devote and you work towards, but you want to have other things that you're interested in that make you feel alive and well-rounded as a human being. And tip number 3 is to celebrate your wins. Now, this might not seem like it's going to help get over a loss, but the more you celebrate your wins, the happier you are going to be. The happier you are, the less impactful one loss is. celebrate the good outings and the great outings, then your bad outings are a smaller piece of the pie, is a good way to talk about it. If you celebrate excellent outings and you celebrate good outings, then you're usually celebrating, you're usually happy, you're enjoying the game and what you're doing. If you never celebrate good outings and you take bad outings really hard, now that's a larger portion of the pie, and you're going to end up being miserable, or driving yourself crazy thinking about the game nonstop, or resenting certain parts of the game. I've had questions in my head at certain points in my career when I'm lifting, like, why am I even lifting? Does this even help me? I suck on the field, so how is this even beneficial? Why am I doing this? That's not a good place to be in mentally. So the more you can celebrate, the more you can enjoy certain parts of the outing, even if it wasn't a perfect outing, the more you can focus on the good parts and internalize those and watch your highlights back, or talk about the good parts and celebrate that, the better off you're going to be in the long run. All right, and that's all for today's episode. A quick recap. In order to get over a bad start, you need to have a process that you do every single game, something that's consistent that you can lock back into. You need to have a work-life balance, some hobbies outside of the game that get your mind off it, and you need to celebrate your wins. So do those 3 things. It'll help you be more consistent and get over bad starts sooner. With that being said, if there's any other topics that you'd like me to break down, any other tips that you want, something you're struggling with, please leave that in a comment below. It helps me make these videos to know what you guys want to hear more about. And if you could help me reach one of my goals, which is 100,000 subscribers by the end of this year, that would be great. Drop some comments, like it, subscribe, share this with some friends, let people know that this channel exists. It's here to help people. So the more you can help me spread the word, the better off everyone's going to be. And with that being said, I appreciate y'all, and I will see you on Friday.